freelancing, you need to develop a mindset that yes, you're working independently. As you're working as a student, as a freelancer, you will have to do everything right from, pitching to people, connecting with people, networking with them, doing the entire thing, and then following up, invoicing everything. So that entire process requires a mindset. So, to begin as a freelancer, especially if you're a student, you need to have a particular mindset that yes, you want to do this, yes, you can commit to it, and yes, you're looking forward to working, learning, and at the same time growing. So, as a student, I would say that of course, being financially independent is a great thing. It gives you a lot of confidence. You can work on it. You are working on a side hustle. You have money in your hands. It's like your entire thing, but it also gives you responsibility. It tells you if you want to go down the same career path. For example, I'm a writer. Now, being a freelancer, I can see if I want to do this further in my life, if I want to take it forward as a career. So, freelancing actually puts me down that path and, gives me a push from behind that, yes, I can do this. So, as a student, you can be a freelancer, and that would be beneficial to you by being financially independent, being responsible, handling so many things at the same time because you're all by yourself. So even if you face a problem, for example, I sometimes face a lot of problems being a freelancer, like freelance writer, but then again, I have no one to turn to. So I'll have to do all those things by myself. Even if it's a challenge, I'll look for the solutions and do that. So it's not like you have an escape or you have a solution. You'll have to look for it. So it's actually being responsible, financially independent, being sure of if you want to take it off as a career. So that's how it can help the student. So it's really beneficial. Moreover, I would say that internships, after doing a certain number of internships, there's not a lot of learning that you can derive from it. I personally started freelancing because I couldn't get so many internships, which, provided me a lot of learning experience. I had done my fair share of internships. I'd done 4 internships, but after that, my hunger for learning grew, but the satisfaction which came from that kept reducing because I was not able to grow. And the amount of growth I've seen in myself in 3 months of freelance is like way too much than 3 months of internship. So actually being a freelancer student gives you the hands-on experience that an internship may not provide. So you have an edge over the others and your resume will look beautiful. Seriously. So I think that's about it for like benefits. I could go on and on about them, but yeah, that's a majority part of it.
Thank you, Komal. Such a brilliant answer. And my next question is why and how you started freelancing.
Yeah, so like I told you, it was quarantine. I had been, doing content writing internships for the past year, but when due to this pandemic, there was the lockdown and the quarantine period. I didn't know what to do, so I thought let's just go ahead find some internships, and that's how I started looking for internships. But I couldn't find the internship which provided me learning experience, a good amount of training, something more than what I already knew. So what I started was I started building my LinkedIn profile, and as I started doing that, one of my internship employers approached to me and asked me if I could work with him as a freelancer. So that's how I started, and accordingly, 4 months down the lane, I'm here with 5,000 followers on LinkedIn, and like I had 15 leads the past month. It's been a crazy journey, freelancing can teach you so much, and like it's so great to be independent, to be mature, and to be going down that path when you know that you're a part of a bigger picture. And my goal is to make Komal Ahuja a brand. So I would say that I'm not a freelancer, but I'm working as a businesswoman building a personal brand called Komal Ahuja. So that's my mindset. That's what I work towards. And that's why I started.
Okay, because nowadays we can't rely on jobs itself because we, as we have witnessed due to Corona and all, many people have lost their jobs. So we should make ourselves a brand. That's very good thing. I am appreciating it. So next question is, uh, questions we need to ask ourselves before starting freelancing or started writing and all.
So I'd say that if you're thinking about going down that line where you want to be a freelancer, the first thing you need to ask yourself is if you really want to do it or are you just bored? Because that is one thing that you need to clarify. Because if you're just working towards it because you're bored and you're free and you just don't know what to do, then that will not take you anywhere, because freelancing requires a lot of commitment and you need to put 100 no 100 200% of yourself into it, even if it's a side hustle, a part-time thing, or a full-time thing. Right now I'm working as a full-time freelancer because it's quarantine. When my college starts, I'll probably work on it as a side hustle, but I'll still be sure to commit 100% or maybe 150% because I want to work towards it and I'm committed to that. I think so. The first question is if you really want to do it. After that, I think you should ask yourself if you can manage college and freelancing. So that's a very important question, because with college, it can get a little overwhelming because you have college assignments, classes, lectures, societies, events, teachers, and you have to manage all of that with freelancing. So you need to make sure that if you're going down that line, that you're sure about it and that you'll be able to manage time. Time management is a crazy thing because as a freelancer, it's not like 9 to 5 fixed. It's not fixed. You'll sometimes have to work at like 12 to 3. Sometimes you have US clients, sometimes you have clients from around the world, because you can't determine if you'll only get Indian clients. For that, you need to be sure that you really want to do this, because you'll have to compromise on things like, going to social gatherings, going to, like hang out with your friends. You'll have to compromise on those things and you need to decide that, yes, this is what I want to do, right? Apart from that, I'd say that if you're freelancing, then you need to narrow down your focus from here to here. You need to have a narrow vision. Your vision should just be your goal, which could be to like network more, build a professional network, create a brand for yourself, generate leads. That could be anything, but you need to make sure that you're narrowing down your focus and you just let go of things which come by the side. So like it's like you're walking down a narrow road and you don't care if a person is dancing on the side of the road or a person is, doing whatever on the side of the road. You just have to focus on where you're going, because that journey is really, really important. So that's what I have to say. Like, these are some major questions that you need to have a hefty talk with yourself if you really want to do it. That's something that that not only applies to a student but anyone who's starting out as a freelancer. It's really important to talk with yourself. Even now, I try to give myself 10 to 15 minutes every day to talk and to introspect कि अच्छा, आज पूरे दिन ये हुआ, मैंने ये गलत कर दिया, अगली बार से नहीं करूंगी. आज पूरे दिन में मैंने ये सीखा, अच्छा अब मैं ये आगे से याद रखूंगी. So these are some things. You need to have self talks with yourself. You need to ask yourself some questions. You need to definitely ask some questions before starting. So these are some things that you really, really have to keep in mind before starting.
Okay, yes, very very well said, Komal. Because we learn from our mistakes. That's what I have also
Absolutely.
learned. That we learn from our mistakes, and every day, like I also like assess myself that हाँ आज ये किया था. I will not repeat this again. Everybody does it. Everybody does it. So my next question is, how does let the age factor come in between your work? Like how this age factor affects your work? Does it affect or not affect? Or what is that?
I'd say that towards the beginning, I was extremely overwhelmed by people. Since I started out on LinkedIn, there were people who had 10 years of experience, 15 years of experience, 5 years of experience, and I was just a newbie. It was overwhelming for me. But then I started, going along, posting. Then people reached out to me. I spoke with them and they were shocked that I was 20 years old. Sometimes I was even scared that when I get a client, they might as well judge me on the basis of my age. But then I realized that age is never a factor. As you must have rightly heard, age is just a number. So to not let that affect you, you have to make sure that you don't get overwhelmed by the people who have so much experience more than you. Always be humble, always. Even when, towards the beginning, when you're learning, and like 2 3 months down the road, you'll think like, I know everything, I've figured everything out. I know how to freelance, I know how to do this, I know how to do that. But it's really important to be down to earth. You need to do that in order to grow. If you don't, you'll just stay there. Moreover, I'd say that with people who have experience more than you, reach out to them, talk to them, ask them how you can grow. Ask them how you can, improve your work ethic, how you can, like, what I did in the beginning was I asked the silliest of questions to content writers, the ones with 30,000, 40,000 following. I used to message them, uncertain if they're going to reply or not, but I asked a lot of questions because that initial foundation is really important. And if you just get overwhelmed by the fact that there are so many people with so much experience around you, you're not going to grow. And it's important to ask silly questions in the beginning if it saves you the rest of your life with the silliest mistakes. So I'd say that to not let age affect you, affect your work. Be humble, be grounded. If someone judges you on the basis of their age, don't say anything. Let your results and let your actions speak for themselves. That's like a huge thing because people are going to be jealous of the fact that you're young. People are going to look you with a frown that, oh my God, you're freelancing, you should be doing internships or something. But that's just not how you work. You need to be confident about yourself, about your skills, about you wanting to grow. It's towards the end, it all comes down to log kahenge, logo ka kaam hai bolna. You just need to shut your ears, focus on your goal and work towards it. Rest is history. So that's how you can go.
Very well said, Komal. Like, लोगों का काम है कहना, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोग का काम है कहना.
Absolutely.
My last question is, after this, Rakesh will take up. My last question is, how can you leverage LinkedIn to your best use as a freelancer?
So I'd say that
Because I have seen many
Hmm.
okay, I have seen many people, many young writers or many people, they are using LinkedIn, and I have seen many fresh engineers. They are heading towards LinkedIn, posting their stuff. So how can anybody, me or you, can rely on LinkedIn for this? So it's not about only content writing. It should also like focus. It should also like broad. It should have a broad perspective. So please give your views on this.
Right. So I would say that, you know, being a freelancer, the best platform that you can grow, learn, generate leads, and build your brand is LinkedIn. I've tried a lot of platforms for content writing, particularly, but I've seen that LinkedIn is home to everyone, to anything you do, be it branding, marketing, consulting, business development, Android development, website development, graphic designing, anything and everything can be grown on LinkedIn. Now, how can you leverage LinkedIn as a freelancer? I would say there's a certain framework that you have to go through. So, firstly, I would suggest you to optimize your LinkedIn profile. Now, what does optimizing your LinkedIn profile mean? So, basically, your LinkedIn profile is like your resume and portfolio. So even if you don't have a resume or portfolio, your LinkedIn speaks for yourself. So what you can do is optimize your profile. How? By focusing on each and every aspect that LinkedIn has to offer, right from the cover picture. Now your cover picture should speak about what you do. Like my cover picture says, I help you create, connect, and market your content. It shows what I do, for whom I do, and how I do it, right? So your cover picture should say something about you because that is the first thing that people see when they come on your profile. The second picture is your profile picture. Now your profile picture cannot be on the beach or in a cinema hall or in a party. It has to be a professional headshot with you with a proper smile and a like a plain background or something not so fancy, right? Because it's the second thing that people see. And to establish a humanized connection, it's really important to have a professional headshot, right? So keep it close, keep it crisp, keep it short, and you can even optimize it, right? After that, I say that focus on your headline. So your headline is really important. My headline says, I help you create, connect, and market your content. And then it says freelance content writer, content marketer. So in your headline, include the terms you want to be searched for, right? In order to be discoverable by people. So when people type freelance content writer in the search bar, my name appears. This is because I've added keywords like freelance content writer, which I want to be searched for in my headline, about section, experience, endorsements, and recommendations. These five account for the major part of your profile, right? So, cover picture, profile picture, headline. Next comes the about section. About section, don't just include what you can do, like what you do, your skills, your awards. Of course, that is to be added. But other than that, in order to stand out from a bunch of the same people doing the same thing, you need to tell how you can add value to your clients, right? So what you can provide. I say that I provide content which, drives leads, and which increases brand awareness. So that is something I can add to the client. Yeah. So talk about that. After that comes your featured section. There I've mentioned a couple of my write ups. I've mentioned my website there. Then comes the endorsement and the recommendation. So endorsements is something you can't do much about because people do that on their own. Recommendations, you can definitely ask them for people who have worked with you, who are working with you, and the ones you've done, like you're doing work for. So once you're finished, make sure to get a recommendation on LinkedIn. I'd say even if you want to get a job in the future, a LinkedIn profile is a must because it accounts for a major part of the entire, the framework of working, because it's a professional network. Now, LinkedIn, how you can leverage it as a freelancer, you've optimized your profile, number one. Number two, connect with your target audience. You need to identify your target audience. Who are they? The ones who will get you work, or the ones you can learn from. In my case, as a content writer and marketer, my target audience is startup founders, agency founders, content writers, and content marketers. There are millions of them on LinkedIn. What you have to do is just send them a personalized connection request and connect with them. Chat with them, engage on their comments, and post consistently. This is how the game on LinkedIn works. You need to post consistently, engage with people, network with them, optimize your profile, and repeat it. So, if you're a freelancer, then you need to commit at least 30 to 40 minutes to LinkedIn every day. And it works like a charm. It works like a charm. I just posted consistently on LinkedIn for 1 month and I got 13 leads in my inbox because people reach out to you. You're talking about your industry, you're talking about your trends, you're talking about yourself, your experiences, your stories, you're talking about what's happening in the industry, you're talking about your knowledge, experience, everything. Just pour your life, pour your heart out on LinkedIn, and it will reward you. So this is how I've created a created an image for myself on LinkedIn such that people recognize with me. So I would say that build that brand and give yourself some time. Give yourself, it might take up to 2 months, 6 months, a year. That's fine. Just stay consistent. People look for growth hacks कि अच्छा मैं LinkedIn पे कैसे बढ़ सकता हूँ, अच्छा मैं leads कैसे generate करूँ. I would say the biggest growth hack is consistency. If only you are consistent, you will grow. If you're not, it just stays right there and you're among the bunch of a lot of people who are just staying there. Take a step ahead, be consistent, and you'll go right up.
Okay, thank you very much, Komal, for answering my questions. So now, Rakesh, you have some questions to ask, and I can see we have, and we also have some comment section. So you go with it. Okay, Rakesh, over to you.
All right, thank you. So now we'll go ahead with the questions which have been asked in the comments. And
Sure.
before we go ahead, we can talk about what is freelancing first, because there have been some questions in the comment that we did not discuss what is freelancing. So if we can spend some time on it, like discussing what is
Right.
freelancing.
Right. So, as I mentioned towards the beginning, freelancing is a business. You're a business owner, you're working for yourself. The only person who is doing the job right from the beginning till the end is you. So you're the one who is pitching to people, you're the one marketing your services, you're the one providing them, working on them, marketing them again, following up with emails, invoicing, and then finally getting a recommendation. This is what a freelancer is. It's a business. You're a solopreneur. You're working for yourself, with yourself, and for yourself. So, in order to do that, you need to have a mindset that yes, you will commit to this. Yes, you will do this. So, basically, I would say just like a business owner runs his or her business, you need to run yourself like that because you're not a student anymore if you're a freelancer. You are a business owner. So, you need to have that kind of a mindset in order to rush forward. So that's what I have to say.
Yeah, thank you, Komal. So the next thing is, can we take up freelancing as my full time, or what? How do we compare it with the placement? So freelancing or placement? Shall we go for a job, or we can do it for full time as well?
So I would say that's a matter of personal choice. So a lot of people I've seen who are freelancers now are those who have actually, like quit their jobs or were not happy with their jobs. So they quit because they wanted to work independently, earn more than that what they were getting in their jobs. Because, as a freelancer, you have that control where you can, manage how many projects you want to take, how much time you need to spend, and how much money you want to make. All these three things are in your hand. If your target budget for a month is say 20,000 rupees, so you take up projects which totally amount to in a month 20,000. Now that's on you. That might be 10 small projects or two big projects offering 10,000 and 10,000 to you. So that's how you go about. Take that much work which align with your, the final goal that you have. You need to earn this, so you target it that way. Now, if you want to go for a job, that's absolutely on you. A job has its own perks, and so does freelancing. So I would say that if you're like a newbie who is confused between, doing an internship, freelance, or job, I would say that start with an internship. I did 4 internships, then arrived at freelancing. Don't just jump from point A to point D. Point A, B, C, D, travel and then go, right? So you need to do internships, get on to freelancing, experience more about it. If you want to do a job, do it. Otherwise, just go with the flow and just freelance your way out of it. It's like completely on you. Freelancing gives me satisfaction. Like it's the best thing I could have done, and like I'm really glad I did that. So I'd say that full-time freelance is great. It's super great. You get to learn a lot of things because you're all by yourself. Yeah.
Uh, Yeah, that's really well explained. So the next question, which there are a lot of questions in the comment, that how do we get our first client? Like you explained it very well. Just go on LinkedIn, approach people,
Right.
and just write your content daily. So
Right.
similarly, I'm not just talking about particularly content writing, but in general, you also mentioned there are a lot of profiles, right, which you can approach on LinkedIn. So, but still, they have this question: how do we get the
Yeah.
first client?
So I would say that in order to get your first client, you need to have a portfolio. So for that, I would say build a website for yourself. Either build a website for yourself, get some experience working as an intern, so you have something to show when you are approached by someone or you approach someone else. Work for your friends or family for free so that you get to build a portfolio, or build your LinkedIn profile that way. To get your first client, you can join a number of platforms. What worked for me was LinkedIn, but the other platforms where you can get paid work as a freelancer are Upwork. It's called Upwork. There's Fiverr, Fiverr. There's Biz Council, and there are independent websites apart from LinkedIn. So you can search for them, look them up. Another option would be design a cover letter for yourself. A cover letter will speak about what you do, what you've done, what skills you have, what certifications you have, everything. So, a cover letter, a portfolio, and a resume, gather all three of them and email it to people. How do you email it to people? If you're looking to work as a freelancer in a targeted company, say as a content writer, if I want to work at, let's say, PopXO, or I need to work in Scoop Whoop or BuzzFeed, what I will do is I will take my cover letter, resume, portfolio, get their email ID from Google, and then send them mails. That's what I did in the beginning as well. I prepared a cold pitch and I sent it across to, I think, 100 people. So what you can do is Upwork, Fiverr, Wisconsin, LinkedIn, and cold emails. And another thing that works is Facebook groups. Right now, Facebook groups are a little inactive than they were back in the day, but right now you can do that. So join groups which relate to your industry. For example, if you're a graphic designer, there are a lot of groups for graphic designing on Facebook, and they post frequently about freelance gigs, right? So you can do that, right? So all of this takes time. You might not get your first client till like 2 months before, kicking it off, or like starting. But you need to be patient and you need to work towards it. You need to be consistent. You can use Instagram to build your brand, LinkedIn to build your brand, build your website, build your portfolio, keep building it. Cold emails to people, Facebook, do all of it together. So in the initial month, you need to spend a lot of time to get your first client. And that is what forms the foundation of your work. After that, you'll see that you have so much work that you can't accommodate more clients. I have a list of Excel sheet for people I need to approach, because those are the leads. I told them, right now I don't have time. Probably I'll message you when I'm available again. I have an Excel sheet. So it's always better to maintain an Excel sheet for the clients you're getting, for the clients you rejected, for the clients which rejected you. Make a list of them, and then after a month, analyze everything. How many leads you got, how many of them converted, from where did you get them. This will help you organize which platform you can focus on more, be it Instagram, be it any freelance platform, Facebook groups, LinkedIn. So that's how you need to proceed, and you need to you know put it all together and give it your best shot. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, thanks, Komal. And just to mention one more thing, that even at TechTable we have startup services, and for that we do connect with freelancers. So if there are someone in the audience, they can always reach out to us. So I'm just
That's
telling,
great. You should
if they are
definitely
not
talk
getting,
to them.
yeah,
You
if they
should
are not
definitely
getting
talk
any
to them.
place, yeah, because I see in the comment section there are a lot of people who said, I have already tried on some freelancing website but not getting the first client. So if you think you have already get some experience in your field, do reach out to us. Uh, yeah, sure. So that is one of the way that I wanted to tell you, that you can reach out to us as well if you want to be a freelancer. Okay.
Right.
And still I see a lot of comments, that one thing which I have realized after looking a lot of comments is that, how do you get yourself motivated enough that you will get client, because let's say you have waited for 2 months, 3 months, and still not getting client. So how do you keep yourself motivated, and what you should do during that particular time?
So I would say that if you're a freelancer, the first thing that you need to have is patience, because this is going to take time. This process will take time. Number two, you need to have faith in your work. If you don't have faith in yourself, you can never convince other people that you're worthy of that work, right? So in order to do that, it's really important to keep yourself upgrading. I started out as a writer who just wrote articles, and now I write for PPTs, collaboration emails, LinkedIn posts for other people, social media posts, emailers, brochures, and whatnot. So you need to expand your skill, because that is necessary. One skill will not take you forward. Also, I started content marketing because I wanted to get more into content, more depth into it. Now I'm focusing on storytelling as an aspect of writing. So if you're feeling low, if you're thinking that, oh, I'm not getting clients, first of all, pat yourself on the back, because you've been here. The entire journey that you carried to be right where you are right now pat yourself on the back, because that is something most people don't even think of doing. As a freelancer and a student, you need to have courage to begin. And if you have decided, if you have the mindset to begin, that's amazing. Just have faith in yourself, have faith in the work that you do, be consistent, have patience, you will move right through it. And if you're not getting any clients, work on building yourself. Eventually, you will see that you will suddenly reach a moment, the euphoria moment, as we call it, where you will get clients when you're least expecting them. You will get a message in your inbox, LinkedIn inbox, anywhere, just when you're not expecting it. So, for the time being, to keep yourself motivated, expand your skill. I would say expand your skill, be motivated, have faith in your work, and just go along with it. You're a champion if you're already thinking about, working as a student. That's something that a lot of people not even think about doing, and you're already halfway through it. So that's really great.
Yes, Komal, and I would like to mention the same thing about the startup as well. See, I'm running the startup along with my team, and it has been more than a year. But sometimes we realize that we are not getting clients and we are not progressing. But we still, like you mentioned, you have to be motivated with your own thoughts and keep on working on your work, like on your progress, how you make day by day. So that is one of the great point that you mentioned. And there is one question in the comment that how did you get to know about content writing? Did you do some courses or something?
So, I have been working on content writing internships for a year now. I started with internships. My first internship was with a company which paid me 1,500 rupees a month, and I wrote about 20 articles for them. So, in the beginning, if you really want to build your portfolio, be okay with working at small prices. You'll have to do that if you want some work in your portfolio. So I did 4 internships where I learned a lot about content writing, its different formats, how I need to edit it, proofread it. And now my framework requires my framework includes a lot of things. Now, because of those internships, because of my knowledge expansion. So I came to know about writing through Internshala. That's where I started working as an intern. I got 4 internships through them. And after that, I started working on LinkedIn as a freelancer, and now I'm a freelancer. Apart from that, yes, I did do a course on content marketing, not writing. I've never done that. But what I did was I read articles on how to become a better freelancer. I reached out to freelance writers who were quite established, content writers who were quite established, asked them a bunch of questions which I had. I attended webinars and seminars, online, where they talked about writing and how you can improve that. So you can certainly do that. Courses, I would say, they're not that beneficial if you don't apply them. A course or a certification is just a piece of paper if you don't apply that information, right? So you do a course, you have all noted it down, but until and unless you apply that, that won't work, right? So as a writer, I've been working since 1 year. That's why I know a lot about content writing. Content marketing, I've done a course, but I'm still applying it, right? So I'm not that sound in content marketing, but I'm definitely working towards it apart from content writing. So I would say if you're looking at, doing a course, go ahead, do it. That will give you a lot of knowledge. But apart from that, also make sure to apply it somewhere to see if you've actually absorbed that information. Because रट्टा मारना या सीखना is pretty simple. But to apply that, you need to have a framework. To apply that, you need to have that knowledge embedded inside you. So I would say the best learning is self-learning. Read articles, read blogs, watch videos, ask questions from people established in the industry. And then if you want to do a course, go ahead, do that and apply. That's pretty easy. We live in a digital age, it's the 21st century. It's pretty easy to look for information around you. Look around, you'll find books. Look around, you'll find videos, blogs, articles, whatnot. Read books. I still read a lot of books, a lot of blogs. It's like the learning is never ending. So as a freelancer, you also need to keep up with the learning processes so that you don't miss out on anything, right? So yeah, that's about it.
All right. Lot of points which you have mentioned, and still a lot of students are asking in the comment, where do I get my internship, where do I get my first client for freelancing? So just to support them and just to answer them, I have also given the link in the comment section, that they can join our group and they can definitely reach out to us. We have helped a lot of students, more than 100 of students, to start their first internship, because I know this process itself is a will go in a loop. You have experience, you will get more experience. If you don't have experience, you may not get. So that's what we at TechTable are doing, giving first-hand experience to the students, even if they're completely new. Yeah, but definitely in the beginning, we may not be able to pay you a lot, because we are spending our time and energy for you to help you learn and then implement. So that will definitely work with you. You can reach out to us, and yeah, that was there. Let me see if there are more comments. Again, those things were there, and yeah, there are a lot of praises for you, Komal, that your way of explaining things is amazing. Yeah, there is no doubt in
Thank you
that, of
so much.
course. There are a lot of comments regarding that, and I wanted to tell you. Uh,
Thank you.
like you already mentioned, there is some comment. Can you name some website for freelancing? You already mentioned, right? You can
Yeah, if
repeat.
someone wants to note them down, it's called Upwork, Upwork. It's called freelancer.com. There's Fiverr, there's Council, LinkedIn, and Facebook groups. So you can leverage all of them to get your first, the client.
Okay, cool, cool. Uh, so there is one more question. Mm, I get rejected many times because of content not sticking to the requirement. How can I improve?
So what I would say is when you're working for a client, don't just work for the client, work with the client, which means that involve the client in your writing process. So if you're a content writer, I'm assuming that you're a content writer. So I would say that include the client in your process. So ask them questions before you begin the content, writing the content. Ask them for an outline, ask them for a brief. Note that brief down. Tell them that would you need an outline before I start working on the final draft? If they say yes, provide them an outline so that your articles don't get rejected after they're done with it. Ask the client what they're expecting out of the article. What's the tone they require for the article? What type of research do they require for it? Do they want a different point of view? Do they require a tone which is conversational, preachy, suggestive? Which kind of a tone are they looking for? Involve the client in the process, and while working on it, while working on the draft, if you have questions anytime in between the process, reach out to the client. The worst thing that you can do is not ask questions. Ask 100 questions to your client, because the person who wants quality work from you will not mind if you disturb them 1000 times for questions, because questions mean that you are working on their requirement appropriately, because you're asking so many questions so that you can get the a perfect structure of the work they require, and which also gives you satisfaction. So I would say that include your client in the process of working, ask them questions, and then go along, and always ask them for their feedback so you can work on it the next time you go ahead with their article or something. Yeah.
Yeah, true, true. And there is one more comment, that how do we improve our writing skill, especially for the content writer part. So you may suggest few, you may give them some suggestion how they can improve their content writing.
Right. So I would say that write for yourself. Take time out every day, and like take out 20 to 25 minutes every day to write for yourself. Make a journal, write to yourself, write letters to your family members, write, and rewrite things. So, for example, if you've written a piece of content 1 year back, or let's say 1 week back, take it up again, and then rewrite the entire thing. You will see how much difference you've seen in the perspective, the writing tone, the language, everything. Apart from that, take learnings from people on LinkedIn. A lot of people post on how to write better, how to improve your writing skills. So you can always do that. Learn from people, ask questions, read blogs about how to improve writing skills. And the best thing that you can do to improve your writing skills is practicing. Practice, practice, practice. Write a lot. Take time every day, not to just write on your laptop, but write on a piece of paper. Get into the habit of writing every day, like even a letter to yourself. I wrote letters to my future self. Like I still do that sometimes.
Wow,
So that
that's
after I see
amazing.
it, yeah, so that after I see it after 1 year, I'm surprised. Even in my to-do list, I have a little column by the side which says something about which I learned today. For example, yesterday I wrote in my to-do list a corner. In the side of it, I wrote, "Never give up on small opportunities and celebrate small wins." So that I'm just reminded of what I have to do every day. And when I look back to my journey, that's how far I've come. So when you start writing for yourself, and after 1 year, when you analyze all of it, you will see how much you've grown because you wrote every single day. Give yourself time to develop and grow. Practice is the only thing which can take you there.
So once again, I would like to just repeat what are the different profiles which a student can opt for as a freelancer. Let's say you talked about content writing is one of them. So can you just focus on few profiles in which they can get started?
Of course. So, as a freelancer, you can do whatever you wish to. That basically correlates with what you want to do in the future and what interests you the most. If you like designing posters or something, be a designer. If you like posting on social media and you know the nicks and knacks for promoting things, writing catchy things, be a social media marketing manager, be a content marketer, be a content writer, be a you can freelance in photography. You can if you have a lot of information about branding, you can be a branding consultant. You can be a business development consultant. You can be a digital marketer. You can be the person who develops websites. You can work on websites. You can work on Android development, cloud development, all of those things. That everything which you can work on as a job profile is everything you can do as a freelancer. It just depends on what interests you, what skills you have for that, and how much you can add value to it. So anything and everything can be, a part of a freelancer. You can freelance as a makeup artist. So that's like anything you wish to do. Just be sure that it's not work for you. It should be your passion. So convert your work into passion so that you won't have to work even one single day of your life. That's what I do. Love what you do. So if there's something that you love, be it dancing. I love dancing so much. Be it singing. Turn that into a profession. That's not difficult. That's not at all difficult because that's what you love to do. Just turn it into a profession. There are a lot of people who freelance as motivational speakers. They freelance as LinkedIn branding consultants, LinkedIn marketing, social media marketing, paid ads, graphic designing, website development, everything. Each and everything can be, a part of what you want to be, and you can pick it up as freelancing.
Yeah, Komal. So there is one very important questions which I have received here in the comment that I have heard news about the frauds on many websites. How to rely solely that you are going to get paid about your work after you complete it. So how do you work with the clients?
So, what I do is, I would say that personally, I've not been a lot active on freelance websites. Most of the work that I do and I get is from LinkedIn, right? So whenever I work with people, initially I, worked with them on a per article basis. So I submitted the article and got money for that, right? But if you're that's like specifically to writing. But now even I take advance before working because nowadays you don't know if people are genuine or not. So I would say that whenever you get a prospect, get them on a call, talk to them, and if you're specifically in something which requires a lot of time and then you submit it to them, ask for an advance. Always ask for an advance and prepare a contract. A contract should mention your deliverables as discussed by the company, as discussed with the client, I mean, timelines will be deliverables, timeline, your payment, the total amount, so XYZ, the advance, 30%, for example, and then the payment terms, for example, 10% after milestone one, 10% before starting work, 20% after the completion of the first milestone or something like that. You prepare your own payment terms and work according to that, because of course, as you rightly said, that you cannot always depend on people to pay you after the work is done. So it's always better to ask for advance. Also, if someone questions you for asking advance, that's like something that a lot of people face. If they ask you that why do you need an advance or something like that, just tell them why it's important for you to get an advance, because it takes a lot of time to do the work that you're delivering. So it's not just about delivering the work. It goes on to research, designing, doing the entire thing, doing edits, following up, invoicing, all that is included. And you spend so much time working on it, so much of your mind is spent into it, so much, of creativity is spent on it. So you were asking for an advance for that so that you have security, right? So I would say that the best way to avoid frauds or anything like that is to ask for an advance.
Yeah, hi. So there is one question in the comment that I get some internship on content writing, but uh, because I lose my focus and consistency, I lose my internship. So there is some way which you can guide.
Right. So, content writing internships and discipline, right? So, discipline, I'd say that don't do all of it in one sitting. I find it very difficult to concentrate sometimes when I have to work and during one go. So as a writer, I divide my work. What I do is I prepare an outline in one sitting. Then the next sitting I write the first draft. Sorry, I research. The next sitting I write the first draft. The next sitting I design it, edit it, proofread it, and finalize it. So I would say that if you're finding it difficult to concentrate or something, then divide your work and put frequent breaks in between. What you can do is prepare a list. For example, like break down your work. For example, task one, task two, task three, task four. Give yourself 20 minutes break after completing each task. This will help you not lose concentration and interest in work, right? And also to be disciplined, I would say just have a mindset that you have to do it. Karna hai to karna hai. So like just do it anyhow, but only do it if you're willing to do it and if you love doing it. Otherwise, it just messes up with you. So don't do that if you don't love it. It's better if you don't do it, because of course everyone wants to be the best at what you do, and if you cannot give your 100% in something, then maybe you can look for something else, right? And if you really want to do it and find it difficult to concentrate, then give yourself some breaks, allow yourself some time to heal, give yourself some me time to watch Netflix or like go out with friends or like watch a movie or like spend time with family. Just give yourself frequent breaks so that so that you can concentrate better, be disciplined, and give 100% of your self when you're working finally, right? So that's what I'll say.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I think we have discussed most of the things that has been asked in the comment section by the people, by the students or freelancer maybe. So
Right.
uh, what should we do now? Let's ask them to subscribe our channel and do reach out to us for any queries if you have. If you want internship, if you want freelancing work, do reach out to us. I have also
Right.
given
And
I have also given the link in the comment section, and I will also put that in the description.
Right. So if anyone has any doubts regarding anything I discussed about freelancing, content writing, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn or on Instagram. You can find me as Komal Ahuja and
I will,
send me a
I
connection
will,
request
I
and
will give,
anything.
I will put the I will put the LinkedIn profile in the description. That would be better,
Absolutely. You
right?
guys can reach out to me anytime. I'm mostly available. I I respond to most of the messages, so you can message me anytime you want.
Yes, that would be great. So thanks to
So,
all of you, those who have watched us consistently throughout the session. It was really amazing. And thanks to Komal, thanks to Aman. It was really a nice session. People really enjoyed it. Forget about people. I
thank you.
really enjoyed it. I was really having a good
Thank
Thank
time.
you,
you.
both of you, for having me and for
Rakesh.
TechTable for having me. It's been great. I'm really glad to have been able to share all of it, and I really hope that I've been able to help people. And thank you so much for giving me such an opportunity, reaching out to me. And you guys are doing great. Like, cheers to these guys, I would say.
Oh wow, thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thank
So
you. And we have Komal, like it was like from how many sessions I have hosted, like great session, very informative, and the way of you explaining things, you have a very good way of explaining things.
Thank you so
I
much. That
think
means a
you
lot.
should start your explain each and every basic because you explain very well.
yeah, so now
Actually,
Thank you.
I would request audience before they go subscribe to our channel because we have more sessions coming up, especially to help you
yeah,
with choosing different profiles in your career. Because right now the situation is very different, and because of COVID-19, a lot of chaos has happened. So we are helping students to figure out what they can do in future, which all skills they can build on, and also we have a lot of mentorship programs by which we guide students. So you can think like we are marketing and doing some promotions, but this is really going to help you. Actually I don't do this, but just to help you guys I'm doing. So okay, let's subscribe our channel and keep enjoying. I'll take a leave
Thank
now. Bye
you.
bye, take care.
Thank you. Bye.
be safe all.